What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing another funky strat. So whenever you see me play Abathur, I usually rush to ultimate evolutions right away. The Brutalisks, the Leviathans, those two. But today we're going to do something different. First of all, my prestige will be Essence Hoarder. This will disallow ultimate evolution, so right off the bat, my strategy is completely different. But my combat units can hold an additional 25 biomass and have 50% chance to drop biomass upon death, so essentially biomass is better under this prestige. My masteries this time will be 22 points and toxicness damage because that's the break point required to one-shot a lot of things in co-op, and the rest will go to mana healing duration so that my, units will live for longer. And then, since I don't have any ultimate evolutions, I will not have symbiotes that go along with them, so instead, the only choice for set 2 will be double biomass chance. Because obviously, with Essence Hoarder, the most important thing is biomass, so I want my enemies to drop more biomass, so that my units will get stronger. Because remember, with Abathur, units get stronger with biomass, the green glob on the ground. And finally, I'll have 5 points on maximum charges of toxic nests, so that I can drop more of the toxic nests on the ground. And finally, structure more freight so that my stuff build faster. So the map will be Rifts to Korhal this time. Thank you to Notorious Thief who is supporting me in the mobilization rate tier, and Darth, Luminous Superior, and Shadow Icon who are supporting me in the Pulse Cannon tier. And thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. This map is Rifts to Korhal. The objective is destroy void shards on the map and prevent them from activating, which means essentially destroy them before the timer runs out. So, beginning of the game, I don't go for a fast ultimate evolution, so I'll just work on my macro, which means producing these workers over here. These workers here at the bottom will hatch from these eggs, and we'll start harvesting these minerals. So my mineral counter on the top right goes up, and once I have more of those minerals, I'll be able to afford more things. And then I start this extractor here that will allow me to harvest this gas, which will allow me the ability or the resources to produce higher tech stuff. So yeah, again, to harvest gas, build extractor, then send your workers toward that, and they will harvest the gas. Overload comes out, that will increase my supply. This storage number over here, my supply limits how many stuff I can have on the field at any given time. You can see I built another gas, so I can have more. So yeah, Starcraft for beginners, in case you are one, is a game of resource harvesting, first of all. So you want to have as much resources as possible so you can build more stuff. The second game, that is Starcraft. You can see that I put down these toxic nests over here. These toxic nests will explode when I set them off or when an enemy unit looks over them. So now I'm making a spore crawl over here because I will still need something to bait the enemies into these toxic nests. You can see I use that and the extra toxic nest to bait these enemies here. What the extra toxic nest does is that aggroes all the enemies to the toxic nest itself, and that thing which gave the vision for that toxic nest, in that case this is the spore crawler. You can see it aggroed so many of those units, and there are only like 3 guys remaining here. Now the Spire is on the way. The Spire will allow me to produce air units for Abathur. The units are made out of these larvae that pop out of the lair, hatchery, and hive for free. But the tech required to build has to be separate buildings. So every single unit of Zerg comes out of this hatchery, lair, or hive, most in the form of these larvae, but the tech required to unlock the units is behind these tech structures right here. Again, baiting units, you can see just running behind there, and then once the Zealot walks over the toxic nest, I set it off. This green glob over here is called biomass. Zerg units, specifically Abathur's units, collect these green globs of biomass to become stronger. The more of this biomass they have, the stronger they become. Now the first unit is out. This is a Mutalisk. It's an air unit, so the only things that can shoot it are, things that can shoot up. So you can see it absorbs this biomass. Now it's glowing yellow. It has 125 biomass. You can see on the bottom right of the screen, 125 right there. And now it is shooting faster, and it has 570 health. It is a lot of health compared to a normal Mutalisk. And as you can see, it's also shooting faster. because of the biomass buff. So that's the reason why you want to have a lot of the biomass. They shoot faster, they have more health, and they also lifesteal, meaning every time they hit an enemy target, they recover a bit of health equivalent to the amount of damage they dealt. For example, if this Mutalisk does like 30 damage to this Void Shard, the Mutalisk gets 30 health back, so it's healing. More stuff on the way. I'm still producing workers so I can have more income, so I can produce more stuff, because more money means more stuff, and more income equals more money. So now you can see both my resources are going up. I'm gonna start an upgrade soon, as soon as I have enough money for it. That is this upgrade, which will allow my Devourer to deal splash damage. You can see the Mutalisk has morphed into this Devourer. The difference between a Mutalisk and a Devourer is that a Devourer can only shoot up, but it does more damage. So we will see this in action later on. Another Mutalisk is on the way. This Mutalisk will join this Devourer as they try to attack this Void Shard. So again, for those of you who are unfamiliar, the main objective of this mission is to destroy 10 of these Void Shards on the map before this timer on the top right runs out. The Void Shard does shoot those little orb things, which are a little annoying. They do a little bit of damage, but they don't hit air. As you can see, this Devourers is absolutely fine. Even though the Void Shards try and shoot at it, it is unsuccessful. Making another building here. It's a spine crawler. It will hit back at ground units. You can see the next Devourer has joined the party. It is now also shooting at this Void Shard, which will go down. So the first has gone down. We need to destroy 9 more of them to end the game in our victory. Similar as it did in the early game, you can see I baited these enemies into toxic nests. The reason you want to do that as Arbiter is because whenever an enemy unit gets damaged by a toxic nest, it will drop more biomass. And as I mentioned earlier, more biomass means stronger units. You can see this second Devourer absorbing all that biomass and getting stronger. It is getting more health. Look at that. It now has 1187 health. Compared to the base Devourer, which only has 250. So yeah, that's a difference of almost 1000 health. So by absorbing, you can see its health go up as it gathers more biomass. You see it right before your eyes. The benefit of absorbing more biomass. A lot of people, well, most 1v1 Starcraft players, in fact most Starcraft players, correctly say that more units is better. In fact, it is true for most games. However, for Arbiter, it's a little counterintuitive because more biomass units is better. So sometimes it does happen that it's better to have few units with full stacks of biomass each than a lot of units with no stacks of biomass. Because, as I mentioned earlier, the more biomass they have, the more health. And when they have enough health, they essentially don't die anymore. So, when they don't die, you don't lose any units. So you just get stronger and stronger. You don't trade with Amon or with the enemy. But with no biomass, you trade, which means everything you harvested from these resources will just go to waste because you traded them for Amon. But if you don't trade, you just gain more and more value over time. You get stronger. Now you fly these Devourers. You can see they just straight up tank these guys. They don't care. They just don't care. They just fly in. Look, everything's shooting at them. And with how much health they have and the life leech they have from shooting at the enemies and absorbing their health, they just don't care. Look at that. They take damage, but they absorb it right back in the things that they shoot. And they just out-heal whatever the enemy decides to throw at them. You have another Mutalisk here, which is morphing into a Devourer. You can see the cocoon right here. I wasn't able to show you that earlier, but all Mutalisks morph into Devourers this way for Arbiter. I'm putting down more toxic nests here because on this map in particular, all the waves, well, most of the waves, especially all the ground waves, come through this corridor right here. And they will walk through my toxic nests and they will get shot down. You can see I'm walking right into my trap. Getting dealt all that damage. And they're just standing right there, absorbing more and more damage. Dropping all that biomass for my Devourers to pick up. You can see, yes, that Devourer just ate that. Got more enemies walking into my Toxic Nests. You can see that the timer on the top right is down to less than 4 minutes, and whenever it sinks to that low, the Corporal Faraday, the good Corporal Faraday, starts complaining, so you don't want it to get too low. So now I have 4 fully biomassed Devourers. I think you stand right here. Look, the enemy's trying their best. They're shooting. They're trying, but they're not really making any headway because the Devourers just steal the health right back from this Void Shard. That is the benefit of having fully stacked biomass. You can see I'm also getting upgrades from these spires. So these spires, in addition to being tech structures, they can also upgrade so that my Devourers have better stats. You can see the number at the bottom center is going up. Now it's 1 armor and 2 attack upgrades. When they have more upgrades, they trade even better. They just die even less. So that just ups the chances overall of your guys winning. That Mutalisk has no stacks of biomass, so it gets shot down pretty easily. So that is the difference between having biomass and, yeah, being dead. Now, I am actually gonna fly over here, waiting for the next wave, which will arrive at 14 minutes. Seeing what else is down here that I can chew on. You can see when there's nothing to attack, these Devourers actually do take damage. And they will have lower health.
So the enemy seeks to attack our base, they will regret it.
Next wave is on the way. It has a lot of stuff. These Disruptors and these Reavers both deal a ton of damage to ground units. That's a thing. They deal damage to ground units, but my units are in the air. So it doesn't really matter how many Disruptors and how many Reavers the enemy throws at my Devourers. My Devourers will not take a single point of damage from these guys. But the bad news is these Reavers and Disruptors just run past, but not past my Toxic Nests, which easily bring them down. Now I have 5 Devourers with full stacks, and that allow me to engage this bonus objective. The bonus objective is to destroy these pirate ships, which are currently stealing resources from Korhal. Corporal Faraday really does not like them, so we're doing him a favor by getting rid of these pirates. You can see these pirates have 5,500 health, but it goes down pretty easily. Milos is flying by, casually collecting this biomass right here. Just gather that biomass and then morph them into Devourers. Once they're done, they will turn to this massive boys that have been just flying past everything and smashing Amon's dudes. Putting down more Toxic Nests so that we'll be ready for whatever the next fight is. Next set of objectives are in this corner, the northwest corner. I have brought down 3 Void Shards so far. I have 7 more to go. Flying over here in the corner, so I don't have to fight everything that's on this defended area. I just fly in and just attack this Void Shard with my 8 Devourers, and it goes down really fast. It's down to 2,000 health, down to 1,200 health, down to 600 health, and it's gone. Attack wave flies in over here. They have scouts. The weakness of Toxic Nests is that they don't damage air units. So these scouts will kind of just fly right by. That is the unfortunate thing. However, I do still have these Devourers which have just returned from their raid of the enemy base. They have destroyed their 4th Void Shard, and they're ready to come back and defend my base against these scouts. And you can see these scouts just don't stand any chance whatsoever. They get mowed down with ease, with absolute ease. Collecting more biomass so that this guy, for example, only has 20 biomass. As you can see in the lower right, the biomass count of all my units are in the bottom right. I want to have 125 on each of them under this first prestige Essence Hoarder, but for any other prestige well, the first, the second, and no prestige, or no prestige and second prestige, you want to have 100 biomass. But for this first prestige, you want to have 125. Now I fly in here and just whack this void shard. 3,800 health, 2,900 health, 1,600 health, 500 health, and it's gone. It goes down so fast. So ridiculously fast. They try their best, they storm, they deal tremendous damage, but I just out-heal it. You can see 1187 health, absolutely working in my favor. Allowing me to completely demolish whatever they have over here. I have another Mutalisk morphing into a Devourer. And this shard number 6 goes down. That's 4 more remaining. Only 4 remaining.
Hardly a match for my blades.
Devourers running back because there will be another attack wave here in about 40 seconds. I'll just allow them to collect this biomass over here. Again, this biomass will make my units stronger. So I still want to make sure that every one of my units has full stacks of biomass. There we go. One unit at least. Had a bit of a meal there. Oh wow, this a lot of biomass. Only has a little bit remaining. More Mutalisks flying in. About to eat some more biomass. About to turn into more Devourers.
Ready our defenses.
About to smash more of Amon's dudes. You can see this guy. Starts with 250 health. And watch it go up. Well, later at least. Watch it go up later when more stuff get fed to it. 250 health. Let's go get more biomass. We'll just explode those guys. Now it's at 857 health. Just like that, just by eating all that biomass. It just jumps up in health. Now it's at 1037. That's incredible. Biomass is amazing. It's incredible. Now I have a huge army, 16 Devourers. If you thought 2 Devourers was incredible, watch 16. Watch how quickly they, well, devour Amon. This pirate ship is immediately down to half health with just a few volleys from the Devourers. And it's now down to, well, less than 1,000 health and 2 more volleys and it's gone. It's just gone.
Korhal, not on my watch.
Both objectives cleared out with absolute ease. Now, the Devourers, all they have to do now is finish off the last of these 4 remaining void shards. And you can see them on the minimap actually. The top, the northeast corner of the map is where the last of the void shards are. There it is, the void shard. 4 more of these remain. So I shoot it down. A few volleys. And it goes down. Number 6 goes down, or no, number 7 goes down. 3 more.
Well done, commanders.
I just whack a few of these guys to lessen the damage that my guys take. Or not. I just right click the carriers themselves. And then right click the void shards. And number 8 goes down. 2 more remaining. Here's number 9. You can see the mothership, Amon's mothership, floating around. That will cloak its nearby friends, and now that the mothership's down, all its friends decloak. I can see them. This guy's pretty low actually, it's down to 170 health. But with the lifesteal it gets by attacking this void shard, it just gets that health right back, and that's the power of biomass right there. It just completely demolishes the 10th and final void shard, which will give me the victory. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for what else I can do, please leave it in a comment. And you can see on the score screen, Devourers. 73% of my damage the whole game was dealt by Devourers. And the other quarter was Toxic Nest because I still needed something to hit against ground. And as you can see in the overlay, the Maguro overlay score screen, I did use those masteries and I lost 0 Devourers. You can see here on the left side, Devourers, 24% of the kills, well, most of the kills were Toxic Nests, but the damage-wise, I was dealing 55,000 damage to the Void Shards via these Devourers. So, kills-wise, Toxic Nests got more kills because enemies were coming to me, but damage-wise, Devourers were absolutely king. 0 lost Devourers, 19 made, 0 lost. That is incredible. That is astounding. Devourers with full biomass are pretty difficult to kill. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.